obviously, you know, I handle probably 50 to 100 thefts in a year, 1 to 2 a week. And so what I see is that the locks that they're talking about, the better the lock, the better the strike plate, the better the door jamb, the better chance you'll have of them not being able to get in. An alarm system, obviously, going to help prevent people getting in. But they both experience that still burglars do get in. And so when they do, that's when you call your agent. But the most important thing first is you call the police. Theft is a crime, and so it always requires that you call the police. And so you make your report, the police come out, they do their best. Cliff, I know, had given something about inventory, which I think is very important. A lot of times they may have a chance of recovering items and being able to match them up to you later if they do make an arrest. So inventory is very good. When you're dealing with the insurance company, it's also very good if you have photographs of something that might be of a particular value. If you had a very expensive vase or picture, if you have a picture of it, we can then later determine what would that have been worth. So photos, serial numbers, pictures, the box that something came in. We don't always require receipts, but it would be nice to be able to help come up with some value. The biggest issue that we have, you know, they kick that door in, they go to and just like he said, they go through the underwear drawer. If you're storing your mother's precious necklace or ring in your underwear drawer, or right there in your jewelry box, it's going to be taken in a theft. And then you're gonna have that sentimental loss. So I would encourage anything that's of special sentimental value, hide somewhere separate, just because they're always going to grab that stuff that's in the bedroom. When your TV is taken, everybody has a big screen TV, so no one is going to question that you had a big screen TV. The question is that, are you going to replace it or not? Because almost every policy out there nowadays is replacement cost. So if they steal your TV, your Wii, the jewelry, all of that is going to be replaced. Now, if there are things you're not going to replace, then they're going to probably just give you the value of it. So if the TV is 10 years old, you might get half the value, but then if you replace the TV, they'll give you the other half. So it is a replacement cost policy. So all you're going to normally have is your deductible if you replace everything that was taken. So it's not going to be major, but it is good if you know how long did you have something, a picture, things like that. The discounts for having an alarm are significant, usually 10 to 15%. That's a nice little discount. Other things you can do, motion detectors. You know, although I've seen them unscrew bulbs and motion detectors, so it's, you know, there's nothing that's foolproof, but motion detectors are good. The better deadbolt locks and strike plates. Hiding your valuables that are not, you don't put your silver that your father gave you in your underwear drawer. Keep an eye on each other's neighbors. That's probably the other thing you can do. Other than that, then secure your property. After the police have come out, secure your property until your insurance agent can get there. If your door was kicked in and that door jamb is busted out, you know, you're allowed to close it, screw it in, do whatever you have to do to get it secure. If it means calling a carpenter because you can't do it, call the carpenter. Your insurance company is going to cover that cost of boarding up that window or boarding up that door. Your insurance company is going to take care of that for you. So don't be, if it's on a weekend and you can't get a hold of your agent or the company, just go ahead and make your board up and your temporary repair. That will be covered. Okay, get yourself safe and secure so you can spend the night in your house. You know, burglars usually don't come back again the next day. But it would be a good thing to consider that. And in fact, I don't think I've had many second repeat things. Yes?
I'm going to be honest, I tell people all the time that if your house has been burglarized, a lot of times they don't get what they want. A lot of times they're going to come back and get your brand new TV.
Know what else you have, yes.
And I've gone to houses where there's been 3 incidents in a month.
In a month, okay.
You know, that's why the alarms and the good locks also come in handy.
Happened, you should definitely take some precautions. That's true. And plus, you know, from insurance perspective, you don't want to have multiple losses. You know, in an industry where, you know, when you have multiple losses, the insurance company starts thinking about, well, what should your rate be if you've had multiple losses? Or are you really somebody they want to insure after multiple losses? So you want to minimize your losses too. And so taking precautions after you've had a loss is very important. So Good point.
Do you want to explain too? I noticed with my policy that you know, there's a limit like on computers and sometimes electronics, and I up mine because a lot of times it won't cover
Computers,
exactly.
electronics do have some limits, especially the computer. Electronics usually not. TVs, no limit. Computers may have a 2,500 or 5,000 depending on the policy. The thing that's really limited is money. Money only has a $200 limit. Don't keep a lot of cash. Stamp and coin collections are limited, and they can vary. Guns have some limitations. Know what your policy limits are. Most importantly, jewelry. 90% of homes only have 1,000 of theft of jewelry. And then you could buy an endorsement that gives you maybe 2,500 or 5,000. But if you've got mom's jewelry, your jewelry, that's probably not enough. So the best way to do it is with a special little rider on your jewelry. And that also gives you the ability to have the description. I mean, I've had people say, yeah, mom's ring, it was real nice and had 3 big diamonds on it. And like, how do you come up with the value of something that no one's ever looked at or appraised? And so that's where it's really hard after the fact. And that's why even photographs, if you laid all your jewelry out and took a photo, at least you can say, oh, there was the shape of that ring. To try to draw it on a piece of paper, well, it's kind of like shaped like an S and it had a couple stones here and a couple stones there. That's really hard to come up with the value after the fact. So photographs, anything special that's of great value, really get it appraised and specifically insure it. And it gives you broader coverage than just theft and fire. It also gives you losing when you do a special coverage, which is, so losing is very important. So, yeah, but there are limits in every policy. Don't, again, cash being the big one, jewelry. And I'm glad to hear about the detector, you know, on your sump pump now. Yes. Because probably besides theft, the other one that I lose sleep over is every time it rains in this neighborhood, I worry about the backups. You know, and that's an endorsement that you have to make sure you have on your homeowners if you're concerned about if that water comes up, the sump pump hole or the drain, you got to buy that coverage. It's not an automatic. And a lot of people have it on over the years, maybe don't even know it. But it is an important endorsement to have on there too, besides, you know, theft stuff.
Any other questions for Dana? Okay, I appreciate your coming here.